Coming up, we tell you about a new program on campus to help students struggling with substance use. And later, we hear from the DI Politics editor on presidential candidates coming through Iowa.
We find out how Oliver Martin fared in his first game in a Hawkeye uniform.
And we hear from the Iowa soccer team on their undefeated season later in sports.
Will the rest of the week be as hot and humid as it was yesterday? Stay tuned for weather to find out.
All that and more coming up on this Wednesday morning edition of DITV News. Don't go anywhere. DITV News starts right now. Good morning and thank you for tuning in. I'm Kate Overton. Hurricane Dorian has fallen to a Category 2 but is shifting toward the East Coast. The hurricane is along the side of Florida right now but is expected to shift toward North Carolina. North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper has told coastal residents to evacuate. Student government held their first meeting of the year where they tackled the pressing issue of substance use on campus. DITV reporter Cadell Coakley has more on the story.
University of Iowa student government began this year with an important meeting about the Collegiate Recovery Program. The Collegiate Recovery Program has been used throughout the U.S. and the Midwest, and the Office of Student Accountability here at the IMU is beginning to implement this program in hopes to reduce the amount of substance abuse on campus. There's lots of resources that students have available. They have a room here that they can come to if they feel like they need an escape from a sticky situation. There's also social activities like non-substance parties, tailgating, that sort of thing. So they're trying to be inclusive. They talked about all kinds of social issues or implications that students might have in coming to this program. With the data, they're hoping that we'll see an improvement.
A supportive network of services, educational opportunities for students at any level of recovery from substance use and addiction.
They'll be hosting an open house tonight in room 214 of the IMU. If you want to come check it out and learn more about the Collegiate Recovery Program, or if you're interested, you can just come to that. Reporting from the Iowa Memorial Union, this is Cadell Coakley, DITV.
Over the weekend, several presidential candidates stopped by Iowa City. We have Daily Iowan ethics and politics editor Julia Shanahan standing by in the newsroom to tell us more. Julia, did the candidates who visited Iowa talk about any of their major labor policy plans over the Labor Day weekend?
The candidates' visits over the last few days was more about retail politics. Colorado Senator Michael Bennet and Vice President Joe Biden gave short speeches in Iowa City to rally union members, but they spent a majority of their time talking one-on-one with people at the picnic.
Why were the candidates in eastern Iowa?
The picnics the candidates stopped at were hosted by local and statewide unions, and Democrats have been working to court unions' endorsements. While unions have leaned heavily favor to Democrats, in 2016, 43% of union household voters voted for Trump.
What kind of labor plans have the candidates released so far?
The 5 candidates who came over the last few days all support a higher minimum wage, but Senator Bennet does not support a $15 minimum wage nationwide because he said it could hurt small businesses. And while Democrats are split on healthcare policies, most can agree that healthcare needs to be made more accessible to working class families.
Thank you, Julia. On my walk here this morning, it was a little on the chilly side, but for more on weather, we're going to send it to Melissa in the weather studio.
Thanks, Kate. Today's definitely not going to be as hot and humid as it was yesterday. Today's high is going to be 75 degrees with partly cloudy skies, and we're going to have a 10% chance of rain. As we move into tonight, the temperatures are going to drop to 54 degrees, and we will have clear skies. Now let's take a look at the next couple of days. Tomorrow, it'll be sunny with a high of 82 and a low of 66 degrees. On Friday, it will be partly cloudy skies with a high of 82 and a low of 58. This weekend, on Saturday, we'll have a high in the upper 70s with partly cloudy skies, but we will have a 60% chance of scattered thunderstorms in the evening hours. On Sunday, we'll have a high in the low 70s and a 50% chance of rain throughout the day. Then next week, on Monday, we'll have a high in the upper 70s, partly cloudy skies, and a 40% chance of rain in the evening hours. Fall is just around the corner, so make sure you guys take advantage of this nice weather while it's still here. Cade, back to you at the desk.
It's the second week of classes and students are starting to look for ways to get involved on campus, and the university is making their search a little easier. DITV reporter Olivia Williams is outside of the Iowa Memorial Union with more.
Thank you. Reporting to you from outside the Iowa Memorial Union, where the Student Organization Fair will be held today. If students are looking for a way to become more involved on campus, there will be nearly 300 student organizations and nonprofits for them to partake in. If you are interested, the Student Organization Fair will be held today in Hubbard Park from 6 to 8 p.m. Reporting to you from outside the Iowa Memorial Union, I am Olivia Williams with DITV. Back to you.
Thanks, Olivia. I'll be sure to check out the Student Org Fair tonight. And Hawkeye sports have been off to a great start. But for more on that, we'll send it to Kim and Tanner in the sports studio.
Now, Kim, I know it might seem a little early, but we have a Big Ten opponent heading into Kinnick Stadium already.
That's right. They'll open up their conference play when they face Rutgers this weekend.
But right now, the Hawkeyes are feeling good about what they showed in Week 1.
As though we spread the ball around a lot, so it was real comfortable, getting the ball, on the outsides, up in the run game. So just getting a lot of people involved, I feel as though was, important.
We kind of realized that we were struggling with tackling in the first half, but we ended up picking up in the second half. So just kind of starting out this week, working on our fundamentals and just stuff that we work on every day and improving on that stuff. This upcoming game will be really good.
But one Hawkeye made the most of his Game 1 debut. DITV sports reporter Cade Overton has more on one player's homecoming.
Oliver Martin got his first taste of Hawkeye football in last Saturday's victory over Miami, Ohio. Martin transferred from Big Ten opponent Michigan over the summer to come back and play for his hometown team. It took Martin a few drives before getting involved, but he made sure to stay focused.
And I was anxious because I wanted to play, but I knew at some point I was going to get in, so I was just doing everything I could to stay loose and be ready to go when it asked me to go in.
Oliver Martin wasn't cleared by the NCAA until last Wednesday, but just 3 days later, he caught his first career pass as a Hawkeye. And to make things even better, it was in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. Early in the third quarter, Martin got his opportunity when he came down in the end zone with the pass from Nate Stanley for the Hawkeye touchdown. Martin hasn't played in Iowa City since his days at Iowa City West, but in his first game back, he had the entire city cheering him on. Even Coach Ferentz had something to say about his return.
Oh, it's great. First of all, it's great to have him on the football team, and it's his first time playing in Kinnick. He's seen it a bunch, I'm sure, but first time he's had a chance to play in here. So for him to have some success, I think that's really a positive, not only for Oliver, but our whole football team, and we're glad he's with us.
So be sure to keep an eye out for Martin as he looks to make an impact this season. Reporting from Kinnick Stadium, Cade Overton, DITV Sports.
You can see Martin play in a second game this Saturday.
Iowa football isn't the only team getting off to a fast start.
That's right, Kim. After a gritty 4-3 win over Illinois State on Sunday, the Iowa soccer team advanced to a 4-0 start for the first time since 2015.
Here is what head coach Dave Diani had to say about the feat.
No, it's great. I mean, that's what I was just saying. To be able to play on a Sunday, 3 o'clock and fourth game, that's usually the lull in your season in the non-conference, to be able to come and do enough to get a win. And against a really good Illinois State team who I think is probably going to win the league, and they're very talented. But we have some things to work on as well, but I'm very excited about our start, and the schedule just gets tougher.
Iowa will head to North Carolina for a 2-game road stretch starting on Thursday against ranked NC State.
That wraps things up for us in sports today.
Tune in tomorrow where we'll preview soccer's matchup against NC State.
Cade, back to you at the desk.
That's all we have for you on this Wednesday morning edition of DITV. Be sure to head over to dailyiowan.com for all your latest news between Monday and Friday. And if that isn't enough for the Daily Iowan for you, be sure to check out our print edition on newsstands now. For DITV News, I'm Cade Overton. Have a great day, Iowa City.